Hello, Internet. Here we are for another vintage cube draft. What are we gonna take here? There's two cards that stand out to me. Um, Coercive Portal and Narset are kind of the two I'm looking at. There's also like Elspeth Conquers Death, which is pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like, Narset's really strong. The static ability on Narset is really powerful, and the minus ability is pretty good too. Like, she's going to be like a 2-for-1 that is also a thorn in your opponent's side, usually. Coercive Portal is pretty flexible. Good card to ramp into. Can give some decks that don't have card draw. Good in like the artifact deck. I'm just going to take Narset though, I think. Ooh, okay. So, I think I'm going to take a Coalition Relic here. I love Coalition Relic. This card just, like, opens up so many doors. It really, just kind of bridges the gap to the higher, mana cost stuff that you're doing. There's also a Chandra, which is really nice. And a Breeding Pool. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Relic. Relic lets you, like, it lets you go kind of, just like, you can go kind of hard on your mana cost once you have a Relic, because it can double fix for you, which not many cards can. Ooh. Okay, so, there's a Time Warp, there's a Baleful Strix, there's a Worn Power Stone. Worn Power Stone is like a worse Coalition Relic, but it's still pretty good. There's also Impulse. Impulse is not bad. Tropical Island is nice. Maybe I take Tropical Island? We did just pass a Breeding Pool. If we end up blue-green, we would really, really want this Tropical Island because we already passed a Breeding Pool, and you end up playing a lot of stuff there. But I don't know. Narset's not at its best in blue-green. I think I'm going to take, like, Baleful... You know what? No, I'm just going to take a Worn Power Stone, I think. Yeah, let's just take a Worn Power Stone. I don't know what I'm doing, but it involves a lot of mana. That's, that's where I'm at right now. Dig Through Time, maybe? Could also take Mindslaver. That's kind of cute with our artifact ramp stuff. Yeah, I'll take Dig Through Time, I think. I think that's what I want. Yeah, I'll take the Dig Through Time. Ooh, okay. So... It's a Bloodchief's Thirst. There's a Mirari Conjecture. It's not a very strong card, but it is very fun. You can kind of go off with some of the Time Walk stuff. Man, if I had taken that, if I had taken the Mindslaver, Goblin Welder would be looking really nice. As it is, I think I'll just take the Bloodchief's Thirst. This leaves me, like, probably some kind of, like, blue-black or Grixis Control kind of thing. Okay. So we got a few options here. Thief of Sanity, Phantasmal Image, and Daretti are all quite strong. I think Daretti's the strongest of the three, but it's also the hardest to cast. I mean, I have a Coalition Relic. I can cast Daretti. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Daretti. Ooh, Fatal Push. I like that. Just a nice, cheap piece of interaction. Okay. Wow, that's a late Oracle. It's also a late Preordain and a Kolaghan's Command and a Chain Lightning. This pack must have been great. I think I'll just take Preordain. It's just cheap. It's always gonna be good. I guess I could take a Nighthawk Scavenger. Maybe I take like a Scrubland to like hedge for a like if I'm getting like a some fetch lands, maybe I can like backdoor that into some fixing. My deck's gonna have pretty strong mana requirements, and Nighthawk Scavenger is like really mediocre in my deck. I might play it, but it's certainly not gonna be a big upgrade over whatever I'm playing it over. I think they'll Fumarole here. Surprised to see Natural Order still in the pack, but we're pretty far away from that. Glorybringer. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing any of these other cards. I might not play Glorybringer. I don't know. I can't play all of the cards that I have in my pile right now. Some of these are not going to make the cuts because I'm not going to play double red, double blue, and 1 mana black cards. That's just not a not going to be a good time. I like being able to cast my spells. Guess I'll take the Midnight Reaper. Probably not playing it though. Ooh, okay. What do we have here? It's a Mana Crypt. Probably the Mana Crypt here. Yeah. It is a little awkward with our mana base. Our like 3-color thing here. Ooh, I like the Rakdos Signet. That's very nice. That helps out our mana quite a bit. There's also a Force of Negation, which is really nice, but I think I gotta take the double on color Signet. After just picking up a Mana Crypt, having something that's really gonna help me cast my spells seems strong. As of right now, I'm probably not playing this Glorybringer or this Flametongue Kavu. I'm probably like blue-black splashing red for the Daretti. The thinner I stretch my mana, the worse cards like Worn Powerstone and Mana Crypt become. Because if I'm relying on, like if the choking point becomes colored mana rather than colorless mana, then those cards are worse. I will take a Mana Drain, even though that does is a you know, heavy mana intensive card. Think I like Watery Grave here. There's also a Bloodstained Mire that I could consider, but I think I'll take the Watery Grave. I like having the first fetchable duel for my colors. Yeah. If I already had like a Underground Sea or something, then I would have taken the Bloodstained Mire. Guess I could just take Frost Titan. Plays pretty well with Mana Drain, because presumably if I'm Mana Draining something, then I have 2 blue, and then I can spend all the extra colorless on casting the Frost Titan. Shriekmaw? Yeah. It's not great, but it's fine. I'll probably play it. I'll take the Darkslick Shores here. Murderous Rider's also pretty good, but I'm gonna take the fixing. So, what is our deck? I'm just kind of thinking about like what is our deck trying to do here. We've got some powerful cards. We don't have that like cohesive of a game plan yet. We're playing some kind of like Grixis control deck. I guess I'll take Ancient Grudge, because I'm not playing any of these other cards. Tasigur, I guess? Some thought to Ulamog just to, like... You know, I'm probably just not going to play Tasigur. I already have a Delve card. I'll take the Ulamog as a speculative pick in case I pick up, like, a Like, there's a chance I pick up a sneak attack, um, or I like play against a storm deck that's trying to mill me out, with brain freeze, and it has some utility in that situation as well. I'm not playing any of these cards. Guess I take the Dark Dwellers. There's a chance I pivot towards like heavier like blue-red and cut the black, or some of the black anyways. Yeah, that I could do that. That is an option that I should keep in mind, because I have Flame Slash, Ancient Grudge, Flame Tongue Kavu, uh, Glorybringer, Goblin Dark Dwellers. So I could be base blue red and splash the black half of Daretti. At which point Ulamog looks a little bit better, just because I'm more likely to, like, if I do like a Through the Breach or a sneak attack. Yeah, as it stands, I kind of like our blue red better than our blue black. Glorybringer is just a really, really strong card, I've found. Guess I'll take the Riders. I'm not playing either of these other cards. Okay. So you could take Inferno Titan here. You could also take like Metamorph or Pestermite if we... I think it's a little bit late to speculate on a Pestermite. Maybe it's just Metamorph. I already have some high-end stuff. I mean, Inferno Titan is a lot better than Goblin Dark Dwellers, but I already have a Frost Titan and a Glorybringer up at the top of my curve. And Metamorph being able to copy my opponent's stuff, or like my own mana things. Yeah, I think I like Metamorph. It's just a really flexible card. There's an Ashiok. There's also a Wormcoil Engine. One, two... You know, I might just take the Wormcoil Engine here. So, between the Worn Power Stone and Mana Drain, I can make like a lot of colorless mana. And having like things like it's good to copy with the Metamorph. Oh, and also Mana Crypt. Right, I have a lot of ways of generating colorless mana, so it feels like having... I kind of want to be able to capitalize on that. Ashiok is definitely the stronger card by a lot in a vacuum, I think. But maybe not by a lot. By a decent chunk. Ooh, Volcanic Island. Hello. Yeah, I'm going to pick that up here for sure. So here I'm going to move these black cards into my sideboard. It's looking like I'm probably not going to play those. So Yorion doesn't do a ton. I could Looter. I could Mizzium Mortars as just like a spot removal spell that can sometimes... I can activate it. Yeah, Mortars actually doesn't seem bad. I can hit it with the Dark Dwellers as well, so... Sure, let's do that. Ooh, Jace? There's also Shatter Skull Smashing and Blood Crypt. How is my mana? So... Black sources, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm probably okay passing on this Blood Crypt here. I think I'm going to take Jace. Just having an early play, like an early proactive play, seems really nice because a lot of my early plays are kind of reactive, and having something that I can just like put on the board regardless of what my opponent's doing fills up my graveyard for the Dark Dwellers and dig through time. Yeah. Oh, Birthing Pod, my love. I'm so sorry. I can't play you this time. Firebolt? Eh. Yeah, I guess. We're probably going to have to cut some of this spot removal. We've got a little bit too much spot removal, I think. But probably not playing that Ulamog either. That seems a little ambitious. I would need to, like, really exactly mana drain something. Misty? I think I like Misty better than Creeping Tar Pit. It finds my Volcanic Island, or Taiga, or Watery Grave. Yeah. What's going on with my curve here? I got some weirdness happening. Okay. That was bizarre. Sundering Titan? Could consider that. It is pretty good against me, actually. I might just take Stomping Ground. Except I'm a little light on playables. Yeah, I guess I just take the Sundering Titan. It's not ideal because I have so many different types that it's going to be hitting myself a lot of the time. Banefire, Pestermite, Copperline Gorge. I'm probably not playing a Copperline Gorge. That hurts my mana too much just for the flashback on Ancient Grudge, I think. But I don't really see myself playing any of these other cards. I guess I take it. Trinket Mage. Trinket Mage finds Mana Crypt. It's kind of all it does, but could also consider Wildfire. Wildfire's interesting, but I don't think... I'm just going to take the Trinket Mage. Okay, I'll probably play this Pia and Kirin. I'm a little light on playables, and that's like a fine one. Smokestack, I guess? I don't think I'm playing Smokestack or that. Wow, last pick for Ailey's. I think that card's actually pretty good. Okay, so... deck's a little awkward. It has a lot of interaction as far as like creatures and not a ton of other interaction. We have a lot of spot removal, not as much counter magic as we would have liked. It seems decent though. To add basics, see what it suggests. Okay, we're not playing any basic swamps. Just do that and see how many that is. So blue sources we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blue sources seems good. Red sources we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 red sources. Yeah, that seems about right. And I'm not, I guess Coalition Relic counts for both of those. Black sources we have 1, 2 in the Misty, 3 with the Watery Grave, 4 with Coalition Relic, which for just one card seems okay. Yeah, I guess we just... And we got a couple of green sources for the flashback on Ancient Grudge that are basically free. I mean, the Raging Ravine enters tapped, but it can also, like, become a creature. Like, it is another threat in our deck, so I don't hate that. Sure, let's run it. Okay, here we are for round one. Our opponent won the die roll. They're on the play. Yeah, we need to hit a land, but if we do, the hand is pretty solid. I think I'll keep it. You can Firebolt their first play. And yeah, we've got Worn Powerstone plus Coalition Relic. Help ramp us into our Sundering Titan. So we really just need to hit like one land. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess another one eventually. Gitaxian Probe. Okay. So this could mean... I mean, that doesn't reveal a ton. Gitaxian Probe's just like a good card that you play in every deck. I guess Storm decks prioritize it a little bit higher than other decks, so there's like a slightly higher than average chance that they're Storm. But Gitaxian Probe's just a good card. So, played an island, but they took damage on the Gitaxian Probe. So, it's what are they planning on playing with an island? Maybe they have like a Mox and a counterspell or something. Well, I'll just play the Watery Grave tapped. Or I guess they could have, like, Mana Crypt and a counter would make sense. Okay. Just play a land and pass. This Sundering Titan is really awkward in our deck. We're going to end up blowing up a bunch of our own lands. It's not ideal. It's not bad, but it's not good in our deck. It's like feels very kind of fillery. Like I would have preferred like a Mere Battlesphere or another expensive. I'm trying to think if there were any other, like a Karn or an Ugin. I generally prefer Karn or Ugin over Sundering Titan unless I'm doing like Tinker. Okay, Gaia's Cradle, sure. They don't have any creatures out, so I'm not too scared of that at the moment. Well, I'm actually going to hold on to this Taiga for a moment just because... Well, maybe I hold on to the... Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it matters, actually. I was thinking about, like, how to sequence lands to play around, or to prepare for my Sundering Titan, but the Sundering Titan is currently going to blow up 3 of my lands, and 1 of theirs. So, seems like that's probably just how it's going to go down. Honestly, at this point, I might not even play a Sundering Titan. Like, I would have so many more things that are dying to it than they would. It just probably wouldn't even be worth it. Play a Coalition Relic. Okay. And I'll play a Trinket Mage. If it weren't for this Gaia's Cradle, I would think that my opponent is Storm, but I don't know, it'd be like they've just like passed so many turns in a row. Trying to figure out what's going on over on my opponent's side of the board here. Typically, decks that play Gaia's Cradle tend to be pretty heavy green because you want to play a lot of the 1-mana green spells. So, it's interesting that they have not played a forest or a creature yet. Okay. Oh, I didn't charge up my relic, did I? Oops. That's one thing I don't love about the relic is, I don't know, the way the like charge thing is just like so hard to remember and so cumbersome on Magic Online. I don't love that aspect. I think I'm just going to play a Mana Crypt and pass and plan on dig through timing at the end of my opponent's turn. I don't really want to run stuff into a counterspell here. They've got a bunch of mana up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There's a Lumbering Falls. Okay, we'll dig for full price. Our 8 mana draw 2. Well, Frost Titan seems good, and then probably Glorybringer. Yeah. Let's remember to charge it this time. Okay. Guess I'll add a blue. And let's try to play a Frost Titan, see if it resolves. I'll keep their Lumbering Falls tapped. And I'll play a Narset. Minus it. Whiffed. Okay. I didn't check. My deck didn't end up, like, as good for Narset as it was going to be originally. I mean, it's, like, I don't think there's a world where I don't play her just because I'm kind of light on playables, but she's a lot worse in this final build of the deck than the version that I had intended when I started. Just playing more creatures than I thought. So, I didn't see any creatures, but I saw a Gaia's Cradle, which would generally imply that they're playing a lot of creatures. So I kind of don't want to take out my spot removal. Might put in an Avalanche Riders, in fact. I do that over like a Goblin Dark Dwellers. And I might do like a Rabblemaster. Honestly, maybe I should just be playing Rabblemaster. Like, it is like the kind of threat that can win on its own if it goes unanswered, and just having like these sort of oops I win draws of like turn 1 Rabblemaster off a Mana Crypt seems pretty good. Yeah, maybe I want to do. It's also good to copy with the Narset, so maybe I'll make that swap moving forward. The Dark Dwellers out for the Rabblemaster. Excuse me. Can't keep this hand. mulligan. Oh, we should have taken out the Taiga since we took out the Ancient Grudge. Could have taken out the Taiga and the Raging Ravine. I guess I'll keep this hand and bottom Taiga? No. Mountain? I don't know. Taiga's worse if I draw Sundering Titan, but better if I draw Raging Ravine. Want to keep both my blue. It's not even... Taiga's not even that much worse if I draw my Sundering Titan because they're playing green. So they'll probably have a green land to blow up. A forest, I mean. Hey, look, there's a forest. That's a thing we can destroy. I mean, like, not for many turns, and only if we draw our land destruction, which we haven't yet. So it's more of a hypothetical destroying of this forest, unlike the actual destroying of the forest that are happening in, like, the Amazon. Isn't it fun to be alive in 2020? What a time. The planet's dying. This is what you came here for, right? This was why you clicked on this Magic the Gathering video, to hear me rant depressingly about how climate change is gonna kill us all. I guess I'll just... Oh, I should have played the Volcanic Island there to hold up Mana Drain, or to potentially have up Mana Drain next turn. Also, just like if I draw Narset, I would want that. Yeah, that was awkward. I should have played Volcanic there for sure. So, okay, yeah. Opponent, Lumbering Falls there. So Misty doesn't even really thin my deck at this point because I know I have a land on the bottom. So I guess for right now I'll just hold the Misty. I guess I could have gotten it out of the way and to get the Watery Grave and put it in tapped. Yeah, maybe that was what I wanted to do. Opponent still hasn't done much of anything just yet. I mean, they played a Sakura Tribe Elder, and they're attacking us with a Lumbering Falls. Sure. I'm fine with this. This is not a problem for me. I got a Frost Titan coming down in a couple of turns, so don't mind them putzing around with a Lumbering Falls here. Fortunately, I can't play a Flame Tongue combo onto an empty board because it will shoot itself. It's not a Yume. So here I'll grab that Watery Grave this turn. Have drawn a lot of lands, unfortunately. In fact, all lands? I think every card we've drawn has been a land so far. Which is not great, but, you know, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. Except complain. I can complain. Channel. Okay. What do they got going on here? What are you channeling out? It's going to be an Eldrazi? Waiting for them to pay costs. This could be like a big Hydroid Crisis, maybe. That's a really nice one with Channel. Gains you back a bunch of the life you just lost. Still waiting on our opponent to pay costs. Okay, now we're just waiting for them. Okay, here we go. They've started to take damage off of channel. They're taking a lot of damage. What are they casting? 7, 8, 9, 10. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Yep, you got it. I don't think I have a way of beating that. Yep. Okay. We're going into game 3, and I still don't really know what my opponent's doing here. I mean, I guess I run it back how I have it. I don't know. I mean, we've seen like we've seen a Gitaxian probe and a channel from them, and some lands. If I hit a third land, this hand is very good. Have 2 draw steps to hit it. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep. 2 draw steps to hit our third land. If we hit it, then we're in business. This hand's great. If not, well, you can't win them all. I feel a little weird having this Mizia Mortars and the Flametongue Kavu in here, even though I still... I don't think we've seen a single creature, I guess, other than Ulamog from our opponent, but they're playing Gaia's Cradle, right? So that they have to have some targets. I still have very little understanding of what's going on in my opponent's deck here. Have they just like not drawn any of their elves any of these games? What is happening? Alright. Opponent plays Island. And this is a Gitaxian Probe? Ancestral Vision. Okay. Yeah, Rakdos Signet. I mean, it's not a third land, but it's actually even better. Because now if I hit a land, then I can Trinket Mage my thingy. The one that... Mana Crypt. That's the word. Mana Crypt. And then play a Worn Power Stone. Yikes, Mana Vault. Okay, well, that's scary. Can't do anything about that. I took out my Ancient Grudge. Okay, well. Raging Ravine is... I didn't take that out in the sideboard. Wow, that's punishing, actually. I forgot I took out the Ancient Grudge 2 games ago, and I still didn't take out the Raging Ravine, and if this were just like a mountain, this would be a lot better for us. Because this is delaying our Sundering Titan by a whole turn here. On the plus side, it doesn't get destroyed by Sundering Titans, so there's that, but it's very awkward. Very awkward. Opponent's got a lot going on. They got a lot of stuff in the bank here. They got an Ancestral Vision. They got a Mana Vault. Like, they don't have very much on the board, but they sure got a lot coming. Arbor Elf, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Okay, so... Okay, so I'm definitely playing a Mana Crypt. How much mana do I have? I have 6 mana. So I could play, like, Worn Power Stone plus Mizzium Mortars. Play a Rabble Master, but that seems worse than... Like, I want to get this Sundering Titan online soon. So, yeah, I'll play out the Worn Power Stone, and I will Mortars the Elf to attack my opponent's mana. That seems more important than pressuring their life total. Like, once this Sundering Titan comes down, they're not going to be able to cast spells anymore, really. And at that point, I can Rabble Master, but right now I think it's more important to deny them the board presence that they would get from having an Arbor Elf in turn for, or in play for an extra turn or two. Would love if my opponent played another land, like a Underground Sea or something here, so I could blow up 3 of their lands. That would be ideal. Opponent has like 1,000,000 mana up. Of course, my opponent's had a bunch of mana up this whole match, and they haven't really been countering stuff, so I don't really know what's going on with their deck. They might just have like a really greedy mana base or a bunch of like really expensive spells or something. I'm not going to play this mountain because I don't want it to get blown up by the Sundering Titan. If Sundering Titan gets dazed, then, well, that sucks, but I don't want to play a mountain. Okay. So I'm going to blow up an island and a forest of theirs here. Chose to float a green, but not a blue. Okay. Oh, I guess they knew they were losing the forest. They didn't know which of their islands they were losing because of the way it doesn't target. It says choose a land. The templating on this is weird. So like the choice is made at the same time that resolution happens. When it was on the stack, I didn't have targets. Okay, so they get to draw 3. But I have a 7/10 in play, so I'm feeling pretty good about my odds here. Sure. This is awkward. If I cast Flametongue Kavu, then they can sack the Sakura Tribe Elder. Tails, I lost the flip. I mean, I'm definitely playing Rabble Master. So I could Flametongue, and then... No, that's not great. I'm just gonna attack, and I'll let them get the chump in. I think they're still dead next turn anyways. Plus this way now I have Flametongue back for if they have a blocker next turn. So I gotta jump the Titan here. Probably, I would imagine. Yeah, and then sack the Sakura Tribe Elder to go get a land. Okay. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 power on board. So what could dig our opponent out of this here? Upheaval? Upheaval wouldn't even be that good because they would have to play a land before they play it. So they couldn't even, like, replay their Mana Vault. They would just be like, Upheaval pass, discard a bunch. Channel might do it. Well, the thing is, though, they can't really channel out something too big because they're at 13. Like, if they channel out an Ulamog, I think they might just be dead. Oh, I guess they've got the Mana Vault to help them. Can we beat a channeled Ulamog? Maybe. It'll be close. Okay, they did have the Ulamog. So, what are they blowing up? Probably the Sundering Titan and the Rabblemaster? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we probably can't beat that. I mean, what would we need in order to beat that? Frost Titan would beat that. Glorybringer could beat that. We can take one hit from the Ulamog, because it exiles 20. Our opponent is effectively at 7, because this Mana Vault is going to deal damage to them. Oof. Well, Misty's not bad. So I think we can make them hold back their Ulamog. Like, we could fire up the Ravine. I mean, we can't now, but we could have fired up the Ravine and attack with everything. But they block the Ravine, they take 3 and go to 5, 4 from the Mana Vault. That doesn't seem great. I think we have them dead if they attack. We have them dead on the crackback on board anyways, if nothing changes. So I probably wanted to tap differently so that I could animate the Ravine if I wanted to. The odds that I want to are quite low here, it seems, but it would have, like, I just cut myself off of that option and gained nothing from tapping the way that I did. Cradle, okay. I mean, I think if my opponent doesn't have any play... Uh-oh. This looks like a play. Cultivate. Okay. Well, Cultivate doesn't do it. I think they're just dead. They already played a land. Sure, you can get an island. That's fine. But if you attack with the Ulamog, we block with the Goblin, hit you back for lethal. If you don't... Heads, tails. Okay. So we crack the Misty. To go get a Taiga. Fire up the Ravine. Oh. Overtapped. That's okay. And this should be lethal. They block the Flametongue Kavu or the Ravine. They take 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Whew, beat the Ulamog. As long as I don't misclick here. attack. And looks like our opponent's counting up our attackers here. Okay. They've decided to take it all. They had Time Twister, Emrakul, and Carnage Tyrant in their hand. Okay. Oh, interesting. I'm curious if they had their Ulamog or their like if they had Emrakul in play when they chose to Ulamog there. Ulamog seemed like probably the one that they wanted to do because it got the things off the board, but I'm just kind of curious if they had the other one or not. All right, well, we beaten Ulamog. On to round 2. Wait, before I do that, actually, I'm going to make that swap that I was talking about. What did I say? I want to bring in the Rabble Master because it seems good with Mana Crypt. And, I think I'm actually going to bring in Avalanche Riders for Dark Dwellers as well. I just don't have that many hits for the Dark Dwellers, and Avalanche Riders, if I can power it out with a Mana Crypt, seems solid. Okay, here we are for round 2. Greedy hand. Greedy hand. So, I have 2 draws to hit a land. If I hit a land, I get to Trinket Mage. But it really kind of needs to be a blue land. Like, a red land doesn't actually do anything for me, really. So, I think I'm going to mulligan. Okay, this hand seems a little bit better. I'll keep this one. I think I'm actually going to put back the Raging Ravine because I'd like to hold up Mana Drain on turn 2. And it kind of messes up my curve. Plus, the green isn't really crucial for my deck to function. I only have that for the flashback on the Ancient Grudge. It's the only thing it's in there for. So, okay, Kythian, sure. So, we'll hold up Mana Drain. I'm probably not going to cast Mana Drain, though. Like, unless they have something that I genuinely want to counter, I'm not going to cast it. I'd rather save it for a little bit later. Try to counter a higher impact spell and get some more mana off of it. Yeah, definitely not countering a 3-bit Inspector. That's fine. Student of Warfare, that's good. Ooh. Well. That's interesting. So, I could Trinket Mage. I kind of like that, actually. Trinket Mage actually is surprisingly good against their team. Like, they've got a bunch of really small creatures, so I think I will just play the Trinket Mage. Take the Mana Crypt. Because if I played the Worn Power Stone, then they could just attack with everything, flip the Kythian, and we're in trouble. But as it stands, if they want to attack with everything, we at least get to block the Student of Warfare. So that's not as bad. Up to 1 target creature an opponent controls attacks it. Until your next turn, target creature gains indestructible. Untap that creature. Until end of turn, it becomes a 4/4. Prevent all damage. Okay. So it's not by default a creature. so it cannot untap itself. So if I tap the Planeswalker with okay, so they're going for the flip here, it looks like. So I think I'm gonna block the Student of Warfare because I just get to eat it here. I think I like that better than forcing them to spend their mana on the Kythian. Yeah. Yep. Opponent has 3 mana. Most of the cards that I'm really scared of from mono white are at the 4 slot. That's where they get like the medium-sized Gideon, and I guess there is a 3 mana Gideon that's also pretty good, but the 4 mana Gideon's very good. Tangle Wire. Yeah, Tangle Wire's good. That's, I mean, that kind of shuts me down here. Okay. Tap everything. So I can play Mana Crypt and Worn Power Stone. That way, let's see, if I did that, then Tangle Wire's on 3. So I tap 1, 2, 3 permanents, and I can still go Crypt, Power Stone, and Frost Titan. Yeah, okay, so this allows me to Frost Titan next turn. Tangle Wire is really nice with, I mean, they're not going to have to tap anything consequential here, because they get to remove a counter, tap the Tangle Wire itself, tap the Raven Inspector, tap a clue. So, doesn't really hurt them at all. The Raven Inspector is really, really nice with the Tangle Wire. Just a good card in general. Having a random artifact around has a lot of utility. Plus it just replaces itself. So opponent's on 4. They can probably gonna attack us with his Gideon. Our life total's in a bit of danger here. Maybe I should have just mana drained the Student of Warfare when it came down. Yeah, maybe that would have been right. At the point when... Because that allowed them to get this Gideon to flip. Frost Titan is probably going to be pretty good when it does come down. Oh, no. Oh, no. They get to yoink our Worn Power Stone under the Leonin Relic Warder. Okay, now I'm not feeling good about my position. It's looking pretty grim now. So we take a bunch. We have to tap 3 things. Ow. Ow. And probably the Mana Crypt, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I tap a mountain, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Still can't play the Frost Titan. I guess I'll do the Mana Crypt, because this way if I draw like a red spell, I can at least cast it. Ugh, just losing all the flips. Ugh, can't cast that red spell either. Are we just dead? Not quite yet, but we're very close to dead. Maybe I shouldn't have tapped the Trinket Mage there, actually. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have left up the Trinket Mage to block. Yeah. Oops. Oopsies. Okay, well, I'll mana drain that. Although, it feels like it probably doesn't matter anymore. Maybe I just shouldn't have showed my opponent the mana drain. I don't know. I'll just win a million coin flips in a row. It's fine. That's all I need to do. Just never lose another coin flip. Easy. Tapping 1, 2. Okay. Sure. Okay, we lost a coin flip. So, Mizzium Mortar seems good. Want to bring that one in. Dark Dwellers seems like it'll probably be good as well. Avalanche Riders seems less good. Ancient Grudge, I mean, they played a Tangle Wire. That's kind of annoying. Could also consider siding out this Sundering Titan. Oh, they only have planes, so I will be blowing up all my own lands with the... Yeah. Yeah, I think I will do that. Okay. Play first. Hand seems pretty good. As long as I can scry to a second land with this Preordain, I'm in good shape, I think. Rabblemaster. Well, we'll probably bottom the Rabblemaster. We'll top the Fumarole, even though it's a tapped land, which is not great. I just would like to know that I am at least hitting my lands, even if they're a little on the slow side. So, not this turn, but next turn... Well, obviously not this turn. Next turn, I might hold up Mana Drain. Except they might just play a few spells. Okay. I don't think this looks too suspicious, because we missed our third land drop. So, hopefully they go for like a Tangle Wire here, and I get to Mana Drain it. Port? Ugh. Oh, that's so bad for us. That is, like, unbelievably bad. I think I have to Mana Drain this Thraben Inspector now. Because otherwise, they just port, yeah. Because they can just, like, port down one of our lands, and they're probably planning on it. Yep. This way we at least get to cast the Rakdos Signet. Okay. Well, that's nice. Now we get to cast the Coalition Relic. So. Okay. We're actually not in bad shape now. We're pretty close to being able to kick this Mortars. Oh, we're in bad shape again. Okay. So do they attack with this Giver of Runes still? They do. Okay. Well, I don't hate that. So that means I can play Rakdos Signet plus Mortars. So go Rakdos Signet. And then we'll Mortars the Skyclave, and we'll get a thing back. I mean, we don't get that thing back, but we get a blocker. We get an illusion. Okay. We're not in a terrible spot now, because we can Dark Dwellers our Mizzium Mortars. Sword of Feast and Famine. That's good. It's a 4/5 now. Okay. Well, I think I got a chump here. 4/5 is big. Thankfully, the colors that it has protection from are not relevant to us. Flame Slash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't quite Flame Slash and play our Dark Dwellers. So I guess it doesn't really do anything to play one but not the other. Because we need to kill that thing. So I'll just play Pia and Kirin and plan on blocking with a Thopter. And next turn I can sack a Thopter and Flame Slash the Giver of Runes, even if I don't hit another land. But with an Honor of the Pure and a Sword of Feast and Famine, every creature they draw is going to be a huge problem for us. I mean, this Giver of Runes is just like a 1/2. Like, even if it didn't have text on it, it would still be a very big problem for us. So don't love that. Tangle Wire, you say? Ugh. Yeah. Okay. So let's tap Pia, Kirin, Thopter, land. 3. That really is kind of relying on drawing a land to be able to enact our plan of sacrificing. Signet and guess I go land. There's also some thought to like not tapping a Thopter if I don't tap a Thopter. I don't know. Discarding the dig through time doesn't hurt that much because it's kind of stuck in our hand as it is. So I guess I'll just tap land. And hope we draw a land. Oh, rip, they have Rishadan Port. Okay, well. Yeah, we probably wanted to leave a Thopter up then. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we wanted to leave the Thopter up. On the plus side, we'll still have a Thopter to tap down next turn to the Tangle Wire. Gosh, Tangle Wire is doing some work for my opponent. Like, they just got a bunch of crummy artifacts that are like artifacts that don't have an effect that needs them to be untapped. Sort of Feast and Famine. They had the Thraben Inspector clue. I think Tangle Wire might be a little bit better than I give it credit for. Yeah, Seasoned Hollowblade. That's spooky. That is spooky. Because that's I really can't even deal with. Yeah. Ow. Untap all your lands. Yup. Discard or dig through time. Legion's Landing, okay. Okay. They win this match. Alright. Turns out mono white is still good. Okay, here we are for round 3. Yeah, I'll keep. I can firebolt my opponent's first play. I'm going to lead on an island, though, because if I draw another blue source, I'll want to have played an island so that I can hold up mana drain. Okay, Bloodstained Mire, sure. Doesn't tell us a ton about our opponent's deck. We don't really know what their game plan is just yet. Let's play a mountain. A mountain. Okay. Interesting. Basic mountain. So our opponent might be playing mono red and just have some fetch lands. Okay, they're playing red black. Knight's Whisper. Sure. They pass. And they discard a forest. Okay, interesting. Ooh, Glory Bringer was a nice draw. Gives us something good to play next turn. Let's hope they play a creature. Play a creature that we can Glory Bringer. Strip Mine is not a creature. If I had played that Taiga, maybe I could have baited them into hitting my Taiga with it. Ooh. Well, this is also just like a 4/4 haste flyer. Like, it doesn't have to exert. It can just kill them. Glorybringer's kind of like a mini Inferno Titan. Like, it feels a little bit like that, where, like, that's the kind of impact it has on a board. Like, it comes down and it just, like, really dominates the board immediately. Oh, they're crucibling me. They got the Crucible Strip Mine going. They're living the dream. Ho ho ho. That is very exciting for my opponent. I am happy for them. I mean, they're probably just going to die, though, right? Like, I'm just going to Firebolt my opponent's face. They got a Mana Crypt in play that they kind of need to get rid of. Yeah, they're just dead next turn unless they can do something about it. Okay. Alright, it was a short-lived dream for my opponent. Short-lived dream. Well, Avalanche Riders seems less good against my opponent if they have a Crucible of Worlds. I guess that's the only swap I make. I didn't see any creatures, but I don't have really things that I could side in and take out my creature removal. Where's my Mizzium Mortars? Oh, it's in the sideboard? Okay. Yeah, that can stay on the sideboard for now. Okay. Yeah, this hand's good. Got a turn 4 Glorybringer. Okay. Guess I'll lead on Misty Rainforest. Because I can't strip mine that one very easily. Shard, of course, sure. And I'll just grab my Watery Grave here. doing it after my opponent charts just to not give them any more information. Not that it would probably affect their decision, but could tip them off that I have a Daretti. Okay. So they discarded 4 mana Daretti. So that's another one that's really good with Crucible. You just put a bunch of lands in your yard. And then get to play them from your yard. Ooh. Mana Crypt. Well, if I Mana Crypt, it does kind of signal that I've got a mana drain. But I think that's okay. I think I'm okay with telegraphing like a mana drain or a counterspell here. I'm just going to play a Coalition Relic. And so this is like super, super clear, just like blasting a bullhorn saying I have a counterspell. But that's okay. Sometimes you know your opponent has a counterspell and you're like, well, I'm just going to run into it. Or if they pass, I'm also cool with that. That doesn't, like, then they're not casting spells. And I like when my opponent doesn't cast spells, in this context anyways. Okay. Yep. I will add red. So red. I guess I'll play an island here. Play a Glorybringer. Looks like maybe they're considering countering this. Commit. Well, I'll mana drain that. How does this work with the, It's less than ideal that I'm not gonna get, I'm not gonna get to dig through time here. But I didn't want to not play a Glorybringer pre-combat because it has haste. So, like, sometimes you can mana drain. Like, if you're casting something with mana drain backup, sometimes you want to do it. Okay, so it's just 4. But that's fine. We're just going to pass. We don't have anything to do with it, unfortunately. Sometimes, like, if this were, like, an Inferno Titan that I were trying to cast with mana drain backup, I would have done it in my second main phase, because that way the beginning of my next main phase would be like my next one on my next turn. So I could actually like use the mana easier. Demonic Tutor. Okay. What you grabbing? Probably an answer for this Glorybringer, I would guess. Like a... Okay, Black Lotus. Sure. So... Like a Shriekmaw, maybe? What else could they be wanting to cast with this Black Lotus? Like a Chandra Torch of Defiance would do it. Black. Dark Petition. Is my opponent Storm? Are they just like Storm that just happens to play the Crucible package? I mean, all of these cards that they've played are pretty good in Storm. Wow. That'd be wild if we just got, like, Storm killed here. Find out your opponent's Storm halfway through game 2. So, they've got the threshold met on the Dark Petition, so they're going to get 3 black mana. So, if they have a Yogg-Will, things get real spicy here, because then they can replay their Black Lotus, replay their Demonic Tutor, play a Bloodstained Mire from their graveyard. Maybe? I can't remember if they've played a land or not yet. Maybe even replay the commit on my Glorybringer. Storm decks are very difficult to pilot, so they take a while. Your opponents often, like when my opponents are playing Storm, and also when I'm playing Storm, it's just a very slow deck because there's just so much thinking. Like right now, they have, 25 different cards that they could get. Realistically, there's probably like 3 or 4 options that they're choosing between, but each option represents sort of a path of decision trees, right? So it's like, okay, if I get this card, then what's the rest of my plan for this turn? And you're trying to sort of like create the whole scenario in your mind of like, okay, what are, what would the next 4 things I would do this turn be if I take this card? I'd be curious to look at the data for like how often decks time out based on their archetype. My guess is that Storm decks time out like 2 or 3 times more than an average deck. Probably like 10 times more than mono white or mono red or something. Okay, they made their decision. They got their black mana. They do have Yogg-Will. Okay, go for it, opponent. I'm just gonna give you the green light. Mana Crypt. They can replay their Black Lotus. They could even Demonic Tutor and Dark Petition again. Oh, we're super dead. We're super dead. So, our spot removal's looking pretty bad, like our Flame Slashes and whatnot. Not gonna be good in this matchup. Yeah, we're trying to think of like what we could bring in that would be better. We didn't have a ton of good stuff. I might put the Avalanche Riders back in. It's bad against Crucible, but it's better than a straight up dead card. What other cards did I have in my sideboard? If they brain freeze us, then I'll definitely put in the Ulamog. So opponent Dark Petitioned again. Cracking the Bloodstained Mire. Probably get a Mountain. Ooh, Swamp. Oh. Swamp is interesting. That maybe they're out of mountains. possible they might only just have one. The Lion's Eye Diamond is nice. That generates a bunch of mana for them. So they can... When they crack it, they lose their hand, though. So they could, like... Okay, so they went ahead and cracked it for blue. Time Warp, Repeal, Empty the Warrens. Interesting. Okay, so the fact that they didn't just play a big Empty the Warrens is probably bad for us, because it means that they... that they think they had a better way to win. So I'm feeling this is a brain freeze. They got 2 blue floating. Tendrils, maybe? No, Tendrils doesn't quite do it. Okay, brain freeze. Yep. Alright, I'll concede before my opponent gets to see my deck here. We'll go ahead and bring in the Ulamog. Bring in Avalanche Riders. Take out Flame Tongue Kavu. Take out Flame Slash. Dreadhorde Arcanist doesn't really do anything. Maybe we, like, put in a Mutavault over a Firebolt here. Oh, good night, Mom. And, yeah, I guess I'll just run it like that. I'll play first. I have a Rabblemaster and Metamorph, so we can turn 3 Rabblemaster, turn 4 Rabblemaster. Is that going to be fast enough against what our opponent's doing? We also have the Ulamog in our hand, which is really bad because we want it in our deck so that when they brain freeze us, it shuffles. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this hand's better. Kind of. I mean, we don't have the Ulamog in our hand, which is pretty big. I mean, we saw an Empty the Warrens as well, but if they got us with Brain Freeze last game, they'll probably go for a Brain Freeze kill again this game because it's just generally stronger than the Empty the Warrens. Like, Empty the Warrens takes, you know, there's a turn that your opponent has, and they could respond. I guess I could have left in, or I could have done Mizzium Mortars as a way of, like, answering all of the Goblin tokens if our opponent went for that kill. Okay. Opponent's at 15, so they're going to be under a lot of pressure here. Yeah, play a Mountain, play Rabblemaster, and hit them. I mean, Rabblemaster is a pretty fast clock. It does kill quickly. And if I can get this Raging Ravine going, then, like, next turn I play a Relic, the following turn I can activate the Raging Ravine. Okay, Demonic Tutor's bad. That's probably getting them a Black Lotus, so they're going to be really set up for next turn. They're probably not going to go off this turn, but we might lose next turn. They might also try to kill us next turn and have us shuffle back in our deck a bunch of times to Ulamog. Excavator. Yeah, okay, Excavator's good. I mean, that is an answer to the Rabble Master. Do I attack with the Rabble Master? It trades with the Excavator, gets it off the board. Yeah, I think I do. Otherwise, there are things just sitting around getting extra value, and my Rabble Master's not doing anything anyways, so might as well. It is awkward because it does take off a lot of the pressure. Okay. We will go with a Coalition Relic. And I guess we could have left up double blue. Yeah, we probably wanted to do that. The reason is if they do like a draw 7, we don't have our mana drain now, but we could draw into it if they play like a Wheel of Fortune, at which point I would want to have Crucible. Okay, yeah, Crucible's fine. That doesn't scare me. So we'll charge up our relic. Okay, Avalanche Rider's not quite ideal here, but so go red. Fire this up, I think. And here I will leave up the double blue. I mean, theoretically, they're dead next turn. So I gotta go off this next turn or find a strip mine for my Raging Ravine. Although, actually that doesn't do it because I have an Avalanche Riders. They might think it does it, which is even better. If they think they're okay. High Tide. Ooh, hey, that helps my island for a turn. This is odd. This doesn't really look like a High Tide deck. Like, typically decks that play High Tide really want to be very heavy on blue. You don't usually want to High Tide with 2 islands in play. Okay, what do they cast in? Pyretic Ritual. Okay. It's just like a mid-sized Empty the Warrens. No, what's happening? They're casting an X spell? Dark Petition. Okay. So that's probably grabbing their Yogg-Will. Yep. So now they'll probably... Okay, yep, they're recast... Or playing Lotus. They'll probably recast their Pyretic Ritual and their Dark Petition from their graveyard. Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, Storm Count 6, so then Ritual puts them to 7. Got Guess they could even, like, after cracking an LED, because they've got 7 mana, they'll have 8 after the ritual. They could even cast Night's Whisper. So 1, 2, 3. Go get a Brain Freeze. And that's 10. So that would be lethal. Or, sorry, my opponent would think that that's lethal. Little do they know, I have my anti-Brain Freeze tech in the Ulamog. Okay. So really hoping that the big finish here is Brain Freeze rather than Empty the Warrens, because I could not beat this many Empty the Warrens tokens at this point. That would be, I think, 16 tokens would be a little bit too hard. I mean, I might be able to beat it if I drew Glorybringer. If I drew Glorybringer, I could beat it. But that's basically the only way. Or Pia and Kieran, I guess, also could. I could just fling stuff at their face. But it would be... I'd be in a very tight bind if they played Empty the Warrens. So it looks like they're trying to decide if they want to crack this Lion's Eye Diamond. Maybe they even have the Empty the Warrens, or they're trying to decide which of the cards they want to which of the cards they want to use to kill me. Okay. So this isn't lethal. Which I don't like that. I don't like them casting a not lethal Brain Freeze. Because that means they're probably going to empty the Warrens afterwards. I guess this kind of allows them to hedge their bets. It gets me down to like a very few cards in my deck. Oh my gosh. Am I not even going to hit the Ulamog? Oh no, what a disaster. Okay. Didn't even hit the Ulamog. Alright, here comes Big Empty the Warrens. Okay, you can Dark Petition. Yep. Empty those Warrens. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, that was a clever play from my opponent to kind of hedge there, since they had the ability to do both. To, like, put me down on cards and, like... This way, if I had an answer to the Goblins, I would still need... Oh. I didn't charge up the relic. What do I do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I mean, I guess I, like, play a tapped Watery Grave, Avalanche Riders, blow up one of their lands, and then attack them, and they can't take all of it. They need to block at least one of them. I'm hoping that they let through some other damage so that maybe I can, like, cheese them out with, like, a firebolt or something. Except I took out firebolt, didn't I? I don't have any hope. There's no hope left. Hope is dead. Yep. Take a bunch. Just gonna let this die. It's not doing anything. Mana drain. Okay. Yep, they got this one. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. Some very fun matches there. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, you can support my channel either on Patreon at patreon.com/RyanHibbs or by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my video, and liking and commenting on the video and subscribing to my channel, because those are the verbs that correspond to those nouns. So I will catch you next time for another Vintage Cube draft. Have a good one.